I've been unfaithful to my wife.
On Wednesday, Governor Mark Sanford was the latest politician to admit to an extramarital affair. The week before, it was Senator John Ensign of Nevada, apologizing for having an affair with a member of his campaign staff.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate.
The list of cheaters has become so long, it's almost commonplace to hear news of another affair among the political elite. But infidelity isn't limited to the rich and famous. In its latest published report, the University of Chicago cites 22% of men report they had extramarital sex. 13% of women said the same. And work done by the University of Texas shows when asked to select a major reason for their first divorce, 60% of ex-wives and 47% of ex-husbands selected infidelity as the prime reason.
So just why do people cheat? And once a cheater, always a cheater? Joining us now with some answers to those questions, two relationship experts. Professional matchmaker Amy Laurent is the author of Why Hasn't He Called? Matt Titus. Sorry, Matt. Good to have you both with us. And Matt, I want to start with you because you've been very open about this here with us on the early show a number of times.
Right.
You cheated on your first wife.
Exactly.
Why?
Because I was not a forward-thinking male. I acted through instinct, and I didn't think about the repercussions of my actions, and I was selfish. And, you know, it wasn't her. I couldn't have stopped. No one could have stopped me from cheating. It was just the way I was. Familiarity does not look good with monogamy. It's the same woman for the rest of your life. Men don't handle that very well. I mean, think about it.
So are you saying men are pre-programmed to cheat?
Absolutely. One woman sexually for the rest of your life. You know how hard that is? Monogamy is an artificial institution that society's created. Remember, we used to run around the forest and propagate
Matt,
the species.
I got to tell you, that's not very uplifting when you hear it put in those terms. So, Amy, when you're talking to clients, I mean, I would imagine when they're saying, "Okay, look, I'm out there looking for the love of my life,"
right?
But hey, all men are pre-wired to cheat. How do you handle something
I don't
like
think
that?
that's necessarily true at all. I think that men do crave a bond, an emotional connection. It's very false that all men think about is sex and that's all they want. They very much need a partner and the friendship and love that comes out of being in a committed relationship.
So would you be concerned at all then if one of your clients, if you set them up and you knew that one had cheated before, would you be concerned it would happen again?
No, I wouldn't be concerned because I do believe that once a cheater doesn't mean you're always going to be a cheater. I do have clients that have, you know, money and wealth and they're very good looking, but they got to a point in life where it wasn't enough just to chase after the opposite sex. It was very empty. So people can get to a point in their life where they make their priorities
what she's saying is very true. Getting to a point in your life. Right. I would not cheat on my wife for anything right now because the bond that I have, like Amy's saying, is an emotional one, but it takes a long time to get to that point with a man.
So how do you know then that your man is at that point? Because, you know, let's say that you know your man has cheated in the past. How do you trust him?
Because he's a man of his word. He comes through with everything he's going to do. He is a little bit more lower key. The emotional time that you spend with him is much greater than the physical time. The relationship's based on trust and a personality bond rather than just physical passion. And some men do get to that point, but it takes a very long time. I don't believe that men under 30 are really eligible candidates for marriage. I really don't. Absolutely not.
That's it. Would you? Is that something you would tell your clients? Don't bother with a man under 30?
You know, you can go as a rule of thumb. Obviously, everyone's an individual. But I do agree that you can tell the signs, especially if you're in a relationship with a man who has cheated in the past. But he's over that. He wants to be with you. There are things that you can look at his behavior.
What are those signs? Give me your top 3 signs of a serial cheater.
Top 3 signs of a serial cheater. You're in a social situation and he treats you different. He's not as attentive, doesn't put his arm around you. He's not looking into your eyes when you're talking. He's shifting to every attractive person that is walking by. Actions speak louder than words, and there's things that you need to pay attention to.
Matt, you got 15 seconds.
Yeah, he's very disorganized. You know, he can't get his schedule straight. He calls you at the last second to do things. He is guilty all the time with certain things that don't add up, and he accuses you as well of being a cheater when he's really the one that has
That's
been
a great point at the end. But you know, it is comforting to know, as you said, Matt, not necessarily once a cheater, always a cheater. Important things to look out for.
Would never do it
Matt
again.
Titus.
Ever.
That's good. We like hearing that. Matt
Yes,
Titus,
we do.
Amy Laurent, great to have you both
Thank you so
with us
much.
this morning.